Hey guys, I'm Josh with Indie Film Lab, and today we're going to talk, of course, more about film. Uh, but today's going to be a little different than what we've done in the past. I have my friend Stephanie here with me, and I had an opportunity to take photos of her house, a beautiful, brand new house that she designed and decorated. So she's super talented, and we hang out all the time. Our kids play together. Um, and so I had an opportunity to shoot this house, and when I did, I said I got to use film. I got to shoot the RZ67. I got to shoot Portrait 800. And so today's a little different because we're going to go through the images that I shot, and I can talk about metering. But this is the first time she's going to see the images, and she is now shooting film too. We're going to talk about her story, about why she likes film now. She's only shot a couple roles, so we're going to get her perspective on this whole thing. So yeah, let's just kind of jump in, and let's first meet Stephanie. Let's bring her on here. What's up?
Hi.
So let's look at some of these images we shot. So the class we did before the class, well, the one we did before this was we were talking about metering and how to meter for film and all this stuff. So this would be a good way for us to not only reveal the images to you so you can see them for the first time, but also so I can kind of go through how I metered. So I'll go through each shot and we'll look at them, and then I'll talk about metering. So this is the first one. This is the Jimmy's Cocktail Lounge. This is a really cool room. Love this room, how it came out. You spent a lot of time decorating this. I mean, look at this. This is amazing. So I shot this on Portrait 800. I had it on a tripod, and I remember shooting it at f16 at like eighth of a second. So I had to have like it was a long, super long exposure. But I did the same thing that I did last time. I had my Pentax spot meter, and I wanted to make sure that I put all these in the zones that I need to. So hey, we'll go through that on this first one, and then we'll run through the shots so you can see them, and then
Okay.
I'll kind of go back and talk about each one. But this room's really dark, so I had to make sure that I got the detail in the wall because I wanted you to see the texture in the wall and just how, I mean, that's such a cool color. So I metered down here in the shadow, and I made sure I put that in zone. I think that was probably in zone 2 or 3. And then I metered for these chairs, which are lighter leather color. So I wanted to make sure those were not going to blow out, which with film, I'm not really worried about that so much. But I just need to make sure that they fall in the right zone, which those are going to be in zone like 6 or 7. And I just, with film, it just captures light, I think, in a completely different way than digital. So let's just run through these so we can look at all these. And I'm just so anxious to show Stephanie all these shots. So all right, let's just go through them. I'll shut up. So that's the second shot. Is it?
So
All right,
beautiful.
I'm in this one, so I'm like, I might have to go and Photoshop me out later. I might just keep it in there. So I love how the light's coming in and kind of has this glowy vibe to it. I just
Gosh,
really,
that's so
I
beautiful.
think that turned out pretty cool. All right, let's go to the next one. This is just a different angle of that same shot, and I just love how the light hits all the little things on the table. I just love that, and I love that it's a mixed light, and you've got this like glow coming in, and these are really warm lights here, and it just kind of, I don't know, it adds so much to it to have this mixed kind of coloring, especially with Portrait 800. And I just had to get an up close shot of that sconce, if you will.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the coolest sconces in the house.
That's so cool. Love that. Okay, so here's the dining room where you are actually sitting right now.
Okay.
So with this shot, it's pretty much the same thing. I wanted to make sure I get detail in here, but this room is much brighter, so I had to kind of make sure none of this is gonna blow out, but it didn't. Looks good. The kitchen.
Oh, that's so
We
gorgeous.
had to move this huge island. We'll see it in a minute, but we had to move this huge island to get all that. So I had to make sure that there was plenty of detail in the dark range and the dark cabinets and everything. And I literally spent a couple hours kind of getting these ready. So there's probably still some minor work I can do to these to get print ready, but I just love all the light in here. We have this huge windows behind us. Same, just a different angle. And you can see the light hitting the cabinets differently and making them a little different color. And I can go match those up perfectly later. And that's the full shot of the kitchen. You have a killer kitchen. You did a lot of work to make it awesome.
All right, thanks, Josh. But that's a killer shot. That captures exactly what it looks like. That is perfect.
And this house is so great for like all the parties that you've had. It's so great with all the space that you can just like everyone's hanging out here the whole time. It's so great. So that's just a different angle. And so another thing, we shot this for Wood Harbor, who's the cabinet company. They wanted some stuff for their brochures, and the builder, the Farrier Homes, wanted some shots for their Instagram. But they're also building my house, so that's kind of how we became kind of friends. Is she was building a house. I kind of watched this whole house go from basically nothing to what it is now, and I've seen Stephanie kind of go through the mud on this thing. I mean, in a good way. I mean, you learned a lot, and I got to learn from you learning. And I felt like I'm building two houses, and I
Oh, for sure.
because I've watched you build this and all the details that you picked out and everything. So I knew when I took photos of it, I had to do a good job because you spent so much time. I mean, it's your full-time job for like, what, 8 months or something like that?
About 18 months.
18, oh, yeah, before that, because you had it. And you designed this whole house, right?
Well, I drew it, yes.
Yeah, you drew it. How cool is that, y'all? So here's that shot that you looked down into the RZ and saw.
Yeah, that is so perfect, Josh. Gosh, that is so beautiful.
I think that's a great shot. And just all the detail that you put into this, like the time it pays off. Because I remember, like, you spent so much time, like, picking out every little thing, and I'm about to do the same thing. I didn't envy you at that process because there were times where it was pretty stressful. I remember talking to you on the phone, but it paid off. And shooting this on film, for me, is like, I wanted to spend as much time shooting because I was at your house, like, all day.
I think you were there for about 5.5, 6 hours.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. And so I wanted to make sure that I gave it the attention that it needed.
That's such a good picture. I love that you can even see the doors going into the bedroom.
Oh, right. Yeah,
That is so,
I love this shot.
That's such a beautiful shot.
I hope these are in some kind of order. I thought I put them in order. Maybe it went out of order. Okay, so here's your bathroom, which I didn't have enough room with that whole tripod to do all this. So the camera's sitting on the counter. So, but yeah, again, such a cool shower, big walk-in. So Portrait 800 does a good job with low light and color. It's such a beautiful palette. So here's the cabinets. Detail. I mean, I love that shot too.
I do too.
They're gonna want to use that. And that's walnut. Is that what that is?
That is a walnut. Yes.
That's beautiful. So one thing about this shot that I got to figure out is I got to get that glare out of there. That bugs the crap out of me. But there's huge windows behind me, so I don't know how to really get that out without killing the light. But I love this shot too so much. It's so clean. It's so modern. I don't know. I dig it.
And Josh, it's a photo of yours.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I like it so much. It's just because it's a photo I took. But for most of photographers, I'm not sure about most of you guys out there, but for me, it's kind of rare for me to see my own work in someone's house. Like it's kind of rare. So every time I go over there, it's like the first thing I look at because and this was also shot on the exact same camera and the exact same film that I'm shooting your house in. So everything's the same. Yeah, and it was freezing cold that day, I remember. Or we shot twice. So I can't remember if it was really cold that day or not. But let's zoom in. Let's look at it. It's so cool.
Look at those pretty little girls.
Oh, yeah. They're so photogenic. All right, so this is another really, really cool shot, I think. Yeah. Maybe I'll Photoshop a fire in there or something. We should. But again, this is much different than Jimmy's lounge, but not so different because we have plenty of light. We have, I metered for these chairs. I put these in zone 5 because they're almost perfect gray, that mid gray. So I put those in the zone 5, and I just kind of went around the room and checked and make sure that none of the highlights were going to blow. And even through the window, there's still little bits of detail in there. So much better than I could with digital. Digital, those will be completely white. Man, I love that shot. I think that's such a cool.
Yeah, I love that a lot too.
I try to get it as centered up as possible, but I don't know if I did perfect, but I think it did pretty good. So this is just another angle of that. I just kind of got right on top. Let me go back. I just kind of got right on top of these 2 chairs.
Oh, that's neat, Josh.
Try to do something a little different with it. I think there's.
Yeah, you touched the fireplace a little bit better.
Yeah. And I did it I moved to the right a little bit.
Oh, I might like that one the best.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it helps your TV as like art.
No, not wild.
That's cool. It actually photographs so great. I was kind of worried about it. Let's zoom in and see what it.
Yeah, there's hardly any reflection at all.
Yeah, there's none. It's actually quite incredible if it'll focus in on that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And so, yeah, down to your master. We wanted to get just like a glimpse of what that room would look like. And
that's a good shot. I love that.
I think it's so cool. And I love the artwork above. Gives it a lot of color. You have some color here. I love it. I love how clean it is. That makes me like calm. Like I want to go to sleep.
The point, of the master bedroom.
Yeah, and I had to get the doors, so I had to kind of back up and get a glimpse into the room with the doors on the side. And then back to the kitchen with the table back, and this is with the 110-2.8. This is not the wide angle anymore. I kind of got a couple tight shots of that beautiful table and those chairs. I just love these shots. And then just from the other angle.
That is so pretty.
I think that's it. No, there's one more. Yeah. Did I get one more? No, I don't know what that is. Okay.
Josh, those are killer.
Yeah, this is what happens when you mess up. When you hit the shutters, you're putting it on the tripod. But yeah, that's it. So that's kind of that's Stephanie's house. And I got plenty more, but those are the ones I I guess I can show you this one. I have a few more, but like just for this, like I just think that's so cool.
Hey, that's a good shot.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that has a little Hamptons vibe to it.
It definitely does. Hey, Josh, did you get any that were cool of the living room? I mean, not the living room, the laundry room or the mud room?
I did. Let's see. I kind of didn't have time to like edit those as much, but I did get. Where's that 5-star? I think that one's pretty cool.
Ooh, that is cool.
I just probably want to take this flower out. Yeah. But yeah.
That looks really neat.
I think that one's neat. And then where's the other one? This one here.
The builders are definitely going to want one of those.
Right.
That's cool. I definitely like the other direction. Washers and dryers are just not pretty.
Nah, no. I did that for them so they can have something
right.
to shoot. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can send you. But those are the ones that I edited. Those are the ones that we looked at.
Those are just beautiful, Josh.
Yeah, I think they turn out pretty good. So yeah, when shooting a house for me, I try to make sure I'm shooting at f/16 or f/8 at least, and I want the whole thing in focus, completely different than if it was a portrait. So I want to make sure everything's in focus, which means that I'm shooting on a tripod, super slow shutter speed. So with the RZ, there's a way that you can release the mirror, and then with a trigger, like a remote, you can fire the shutter so that everything is super still and nothing is shaky and blurry, because you have the shutter open for like 1/8 of a second, which doesn't sound like a long time, but in photography, that's a pretty long time. So yeah, that's kind of the technique I use when I'm shooting homes, especially one that I want to spend a lot of time on, like this one. And so now that we've kind of went through these and you saw what medium format can do. I mean, so let's go back to Stephanie. I want to talk about. So I guess I'll preface this with, you are a photographer, although you say you're not a photographer. You have a 5D Mark III with a 50-1.2 that you got from David, and so you are a photographer. I wouldn't say that you trying to make money at it, but you do shoot, and you have assisted him at some weddings, and you shoot your kids all the time with it. I mean, you always have your 5D, it looks like.
Right.
So,
But I'm definitely not a professional photographer. I'm a hobby photographer.
right. Yeah, yeah.
I do love shooting.
Yeah, so what's cool is one of her daughters were going on a trip to Mexico, and I thought, hey, let me load a roll of Cinestill film. I'll let her shoot it, and whatever happens, happens. Well, I think she took one photo, and then,
Right.
and then you got it. And then
Right.
tell me, I want to so this section is going to be about Stephanie's experience with film coming from digital. So how did you feel when you first kind of picked it up? What were you thinking?
Um, it was fun. It was a whole different experience than shooting digital. I think with digital, you understand that you can go in and shoot 1,000 pictures of the same frame, and who cares? And if you get a picture, great. If you don't, you can go reshoot again. But I think when or for me, when I shot that first roll of film, I understood that every time I clicked the shutter button, I mean, that was it. And so there's so much more thought and effort that goes in every time you shoot a picture on the film than on the digital. For me, something I was kind of thinking about today, Josh, is let's say my kids, last week we were in Mexico. The kids are running on the beach in Mexico, and I've got my digital camera, and I'm snapping, 50 pictures of them running across the beach in Mexico. And I look at the pictures and I'm like, oh, I don't like the composition, or I don't like the color. So kids, run across the beach again. Let me get another picture. So I have them run across the beach again. I'm like, oh, Harmon, you're doing this. Do your hand different this way. I shoot another 100 pictures. Well, by the time I'm done, the picture's no longer the genuine essence of the moment.
Right.
But when I'm shooting on your film camera and I shoot the picture, I'm truly capturing the essence of that moment without trying to manipulate a moment for a photo.
That's awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So I feel like when I've shot 2 rolls. We've only developed one so far. But when I've gotten the pictures back, there's that like nostalgic feeling that you used to have. Remember back when we were kids, you'd go to the grocery store and pick up your film?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's that kind of thing where it's like, it's not that instant gratification of taking 1,000 pictures and looking to find the very best one, but, getting the pictures back later, getting to review them, and kind of remembering the moment that you captured again versus kind of manufacturing a moment to capture.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely.
Which I don't think just us moms on DSLRs are doing that, but I'm seeing my 14-year-old girls do that. They're like, oh, let's go get ice cream so we can take pictures. Well, they're trying to manufacture these moments to photograph.
Right.
Where I think, like, I was looking through a parent's old photo album, and the pictures are all adorable pictures of all this growing up stuff where they're taking on little disposable film cameras, because we're actually capturing the essence of the moment, which is exactly what happened those 2 rolls of film that I've shot so far. We've had these fun little summer moments that I've been able to just snap and capture these pictures, and some are not in focus and some are not, the light's not perfect and the composition's not perfect, but I'm capturing,
and that's okay.
Authenticity, which I think we've kind of missed the boat on when it comes to some of the digital.
Right.
That's,
Yeah, absolutely. And there's people who shoot digital and they feel like they have, but for me it doesn't, and it sounds like for you it doesn't, because I'm the same way. If I have a digital camera in my hand, I feel unlimited. I'm like, I can do whatever, so I shoot so
Right.
much. And you're right, it's like, it doesn't matter if the lighting's not right. It doesn't matter if when Harmon was running down the beach his hand wasn't right or whatever. Like, it's the moment that you're going for, and you can't look at it on the back of the camera. You snap it and you go, I hope that's good, and then when you get it back, you're like, it is good, it's fine.
Something else I was thinking about the other day when we were in Mexico and I was taking, 3,000 pictures, when I would have those series of times where I'm, want the kid, I really want this picture of the kids, like on the yacht in Mexico. And I'm taking all these pictures and moving the kids and moving for the light and doing all this. And I take, 100 pictures. Typically, that very first one is the best picture for me before I've tried to change everybody and manipulate everybody and do all this. And again, that's what I would have captured
Right.
had I just shot the first picture on a roll of film.
Right. And just left it
You know what I
alone.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. If I had just gone with what I had initially. So I don't know. I'm super excited to see this next roll of film because the first roll, what was I shooting? What film was it?
That was the very first roll was Cinestill.
And then the second roll, then third roll, or the
Portrait 800, which is the same I shot your house on, and
okay.
your girls on the wall. Because I gave you that film because I didn't know what situation you're going to be in. It works great outside. It works great for low light, everything. It's just a great all around film. So how did you feel when you had the manual focus versus autofocus?
What'd you just say?
How does it make you feel to have to manual focus the lens to get it, to get it sharp versus?
Oh, I don't know. It was fun. Again, my dad used to shoot on a camera like yours when I was growing up, and he would let me shoot a little bit. And there's something so nostalgic to everything about handling the film camera.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but you do have to do that versus my 50 on my 5D. You just don't mess with it.
Yeah, you just press a button. It's got it. Yeah.
Right. But I like it. I mean, it's so fun shooting on that film camera.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, and that's why I kind of wanted to have you on here is like your perspective of someone new shooting film. Because there's a lot of people I talk to and they're kind of scared. They're like, oh, like I'm so scared to do this. I'm like, why? I mean, it's so fun to me. Your experience is exactly what I was kind of hoping when you're like, I'm going to take this Mexico. I'm like, oh, I hope that. And knowing you, I'd be like, I think she's going to really dig this. And what's really cool, your first roll of film, you got you wrote me and was like, hey, I got a couple of these I want to print, which to me is so cool because it took me God knows how many rolls of film before I printed one. So let's see them. I know you got them right there, right?
I do. I've got a picture of. Can y'all see my little girl?
That's so cool.
Get this where we're not. Ooh.
That's all right. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Here's my little girl on my husband's shoulders heading to the pool.
That's so cool. And that's Cinestill, so it has like a cool, super cool vintage vibe.
It's precious. And it was just, they walked in. I don't think you were there. Were you, Josh?
I don't think I was there that day. I don't think so.
Okay, we were sitting at the pool and they walked in and I grabbed the camera and just one picture, and it was just, I think I looked a little smile on his face, like he's so proud to be walking in with his little girl.
That's so cool.
And she's just checking everybody out at the pool with her sunglasses on.
That is so cool.
But if I had my digital, I think I would have been like, stand over here, let's make sure the light's perfect, let's get some people in the pool in the background, and I wouldn't have gotten this.
Right. That's a good point. That's a great point.
And then, let's see.
It's like if you have the knowledge of what the image is going to look like, you want to insert your own idea of what it's going to be. Like, you know what I mean? If you can look on the back of the camera, right. You're like, I want to control this because I know what it looks like and I don't want it to look like that. Versus the film.
Right.
Yeah. You're actually catching moments. And do you have the other one?
We know, once again, I don't know if you've gone through like your parents' photo albums lately. Like, I've gone over to mom's and looked since we've been talking about this. And the whole album is full of pictures that are great. And nobody said, oh, the composition's not perfect or the light's not perfect. I know that's different for professional photographers, but just for folks like me, and they're precious pictures that were all captured on film. And I'm very close to wanting to shoot mostly film because of the experience I've had this summer. Now this is just, I'm trying to get it to where
it looks cool. Yeah.
It's not so
glary. It's fine. It's cool. We can see it.
So that's just Jimmy and I getting dressed for a ball. But I think it's just so cute and sweet and nostalgic. It just looks like we could be in the 50s or anytime between the 50s and now. Doesn't it just look like that, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of, that's what I hear a lot too, is like, we don't know what year that was taken. Like the one of Wheezy, that could have been 70s. It could have been 60s.
Oh, totally has a 60s, 70s vibe.
Yeah, it's so neat, and it's not even just about that. I mean, it's how you shoot, and like I mean you just said it, and we're going to say it again, but it's how you shoot. It's not necessarily the look. I mean, which to me is like a lot of it, but it's how you shoot, which changes everything, and that's so cool that you like you got it back and you loved it versus being like, I don't these aren't exactly what, because you let go of the control and look what happens.
Right. Right. And there's something I think with the world we live in 2021, and everything is immediate gratification and the ability to kind of alter and manipulate anything. It's kind of fun going back to something that's just more genuine.
Right. How do you think Instagram played an effect in this whole thing?
In what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
just
it's
in
the worst.
what's that?
It's the worst with all the filters and the. That's what I'm saying. Like my little 14-year-old girls, they don't just want to do stuff with their friends. They want to do things that are going to be. They want to do photo shoots all the time. And all it is them with filters and duck faces, and it's. But they're not
Yeah.
doing fun things and capturing the moment. They're trying to create moments for their Instagram persona.
Right. That's a good point.
But I think in so many ways we're skipping over the kind of the art of the authentic and the genuine photographs
Yeah,
and everything
that's a great.
everything um so I keep looking at my yard guy out there. Everything is just it's getting a bit too staged and like I keep using the word manipulated, but everyone, we're manipulating everything around us to work for this one shot we're trying to get again versus just capturing the essence of a genuine moment.
Yeah, I really take that to heart. Like when I shoot weddings and things like that, there's a balance. There's a balance that has to be done. And I know you're talking about just shooting around the house. When I shoot around the house, it's like it's all just whatever happens because my kids don't listen to me in that way. They listen to Aubrey. They don't listen to me that way. So I'm just like, I better just get what I can, which I like that even more. But when I shoot weddings, it's the same thing. It's a good balance of like, hey, stand over here because it's good light. And then, oh, that's a moment that's really cool that's happening with grandparent or whatever. There's actually a wedding that David shot with me. We have a friend, a mutual friend named David, who's a wedding photographer also, and he shot a wedding with me where he was doing the formal stuff, and I got to shoot whatever I wanted to in that hour. And I walked around and took photos of the grandparents holding hands, sitting on the pew. It was so cute. And I did all these shots of them because they weren't paying me any attention. They were watching their grandbabies get married. And 2 weeks later, before I delivered the images, the mom called and said, hey, our granddad, the granddad passed away, the wedding you shot. I'd love to get some images. And I was thinking, oh, I got good ones because David was there to do all the stage stuff, which matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It does matter. But I had time to shoot these like really cool. I wish I had them here to show. They were sitting on the pew, holding hands, looking at everyone doing the group shots. And so I just snuck up and the lighting was not great. It was in the middle of a church. I didn't say, hey guys, come over here by this window. I could have, but they were so happy holding hands. What if I moved them by the window that they didn't hold hands? If, or what if he couldn't move because he had a cane or didn't want to go by the light. So I just decided, hey, I'm going to take this. Is it great light? Absolutely not. Is it perfect composition? Nope. But is it exactly what you said? It is. It's a moment. And she wrote me and was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you got these. And I was thinking, yeah, thanks to David, because David was shooting all the stuff that
you have to shoot.
You have to shoot. And so it kind of plays into what you were saying. It's like the moments are there. Find them. Find the moments that happen and stop controlling it so much. And I'm not saying that's bad. If that's what you do, that's what you do. That's fine.
Right.
Yeah. Just saying for me and obviously for you, it's a little different.
Yeah, certainly I'm not trying to make either the digital seem like there's anything wrong with it. Just personally for me, I've noticed what we talked about today.
Yeah.
Where when I'm shooting the digital, it's more of, like I said, even before we went to Mexico last week, I'm like, I've got to make sure I get a picture of the kids running on the beach versus just poof one morning, my kids running on the beach and me snapping a picture. And I think that's where we've gotten in the digital world, because we know we can go on vacation and take 7,000 pictures. We don't just snap pictures of the authentic moments. I remember when I was a kid, we went to Italy, and my dad carried around a fanny pack full of film rolls, so that he could, we could shoot a lot. And I probably had like 10 rolls of film for the whole week.
Right.
He wanted to make sure he always had an extra roll in case, ran out when we were out and about. And looking back now, it's like, gosh, we only shot like 10 rolls of film, in a week in Italy. But then I look at the album, we have all the pictures we needed. There wasn't any reason to take 3,000 pictures. We've got the pictures we need, and they were all just shot on a little 35 millimeter camera.
Yeah. So how do you feel like that plays into enjoying the vacation?
Oh, it can ruin their vacation. Trying to get the perfect picture. I think if so, let's be real. I got down there and I forgot how to work the film camera. Remember?
Yeah.
Were maybe having a little bit too much fun, and I just couldn't think anymore. So I only carried the digital around, and trying so hard to capture all these moments that I in my head had envisioned that I needed to get I don't let it now bother me as much as it used to, but it used to bother me so bad if I didn't get the perfect picture of my 4 kids in their matching outfits on the beach, each summer. But then I look at the picture I took of Jimmy and Weezy at the pool. If that's the only picture I had of her all summer and it's hanging on my wall, I captured a picture of her, in the summer of 21. And it was such a genuine picture. So I think I think I would enjoy a vacation more or a moment more if I would probably shoot on the film and just try to shoot the moments versus trying to create the moments.
That's awesome. That sums up everything right there. And being present, I know that's a common thing. People say being present, but it's so true.
So true.
You're so much more present, or I am, and it sounds like you are too. When I bring my little camera to places, I am focused on them. I don't look at the camera. I'm not like, I feel like I have to look at the back of the camera and make sure I got it right. I know I got it when I click it. I'm like, I got it. I got something. It might not be perfect composition or perfect whatever, but I got it. It's permanent. It's on the film. And when I get them back, I'm so much more happy than, oh, now I got to go download this card and go look through it. And it's not a film versus digital argument. It's just the fact that you do shoot completely different, as you were saying, and you're in the moment more. And it can, I wouldn't say, it would ruin the moment for sure. Absolutely.
We had a dinner. We had John and Mallory over for dinner 2 summers ago.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say last week. I was like, thanks for the invite.
No, but I guess, well, now that I say that, I think it was John or Caleb, one of them. I can't remember now. Anyway, we're all outside of the back porch, and they were taking some pictures. And it's one of my favorite summer pictures ever. It's black and white. It's not even in focus.
That's probably John.
John? I think it was John, but Caleb's kid was there, so I guess Caleb was there too. Anyway, but it's all of us kids, or me and all the kids outside running around, not in focus, and it's one of my favorite summer pictures.
That's awesome.
But it was just on the back porch, on film, black and white, not posed, not orchestrated, just like an old-fashioned, genuine film photograph. I'll have to show you later.
Yeah, you have to show me. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sums it up. It's like let go of trying to make everything perfect and just let it happen. And I've learned to do that in life. like with my kids, just in general, hey, I know my kid, I know little Asa doesn't want to take his shoes off or whatever, his socks off before he goes run in the mud. I'm like, do I want to fight him and ruin his memory of this killer time, or do I just want to say screw it, man, do whatever? I'm saying don't be a bad parent. I'm just saying I kind of use that in life too. Does it really matter? At the end of the day, like you were talking about, looking back at your your photo album that's so important. My mom gave me a photo album of me and my childhood and my sisters when we were little, and it's literally all snapshots. They were like maybe one pose photo where it's like sit in the grass and we'll take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I cherish that more than anything because and even if it was posed, it's fine. But I like it because it's like literally you see me and my silliness in those photos. She actually did a great job because I'm like, not just sit down on the couch with the Christmas tree. It's like, I mean, I'm running through the house like screaming, and she's like, click. I'm like, wow. Looking back, I'm like, how did you even like get that? First of all, like, and second of all, what made you think to get that versus stop jumping around and sit on the couch? You know what I mean?
Right.
So let life happen and catch it on film. Indie Film Lab.
Yep.
That should be our tagline.
Yep. You have my vote for that.
That's awesome. So you have one more role that you shot that you're going to give me, and are you finished the other role?
Yes.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said you have one more role in your camera right now, though, right?
Yeah, remember I shot a few pictures at Eloise's birthday party
Right.
on Saturday, and we've got a couple little things coming up. I mean, but I love just to put it out. And the other morning, Eloise and Harmon, who are my two youngest, and sometimes don't get along very well, they were outside on the back porch feeding each other waffles for breakfast. Neither one of them had a shirt on, so it just once again it kind of looked like really old. And I was inside, so this photo may not even turn out, but I was inside and shot the picture through the window of them on the porch. But if it turns out, it's just going to be so adorable because it was just a sweet. And I thought I can go outside and open the door and try to shoot this, but they're going to know I'm there.
Right.
So, but I love putting the camera out and just kind of snapping moments like that as we've gone through the summer, which I would think by the end of the summer, I'll have it ready for us to develop the 2 roles, which I'm super excited to see.
That is super cool. I love that so much because I get this like film anxiety when it's in my camera. I'm like, I got to shoot it. I got 36 shots left. or 30 shots left. I got to shoot it. That's just me. But I like that you're taking your time with it. And yeah, at the party, I noticed like it was just sitting out. Asa grabbed it and came up to me and he's like, hey, let me shoot, because he shot one of those before. And he's like, I want to shoot that. I was like, oh, no, this isn't yours. But I actually took one photo on your camera. I didn't tell you. So I can't wait for you to see it. It's Queen Cersei.
Oh, yeah. She was hysterical.
That is so
I think
funny.
She's worn that dress every day
That's
since.
amazing. I got one of her in that dress, so I can't wait to show you. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
But yeah, cool. Thank you for coming on here. I really appreciate it.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's real fun. See, it wasn't bad. It was a lot of fun. Well, thanks for sharing your perspective because we get a lot of people emailing us and asking questions and a lot of I can read through the lines and see that they're kind of scared or nervous, like, oh, I got to roll and I'm kind of nervous and you're gonna make fun of me. And it's like, no one's making fun of you. We're not, we're here to help people shoot film, not make fun of you and shame you if you do it wrong. So coming from you you shot your first roll and you got 2 prints hanging in your house from it. I mean, that's like inspiration for people out there that are scared to shoot film or new to it or nervous. Hey, just go do it and take Stephanie's advice and just go shoot it and don't worry about so much about composition and light at first. Just get used to playing with the camera and shooting it and winding to the next shot and go have fun. And I promise you'll get something that you like. I mean, Stephanie got 2 shots on her first roll. I got like no shots on my first roll. It was like all blurry. So congrats to you.
Well, thanks. It really is fun shooting on film. It really is.
It's so much fun. That's why I want a film lab. I was like, I'll take it to the next level. I'll just. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you so much for your time. I know time's valuable, and I'm sure I'll see you today at the pool.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you. All right. Hey, let's wrap it up. Hey, I'm Josh with Indie Film Lab, and as usual, long live film. Thank you guys so much for watching.